Today, I'm testing the worst one-star reviews at the largest water park in South Florida. We're talking dangerous water slides, dirty water, and angry people. I am on a mission to prove that just because a water park has bad reviews, that doesn't mean you can't have fun. And I'll be rating my experience on how cool the water park looks, how safe the water slides are, and how much fun I have. Make sure you watch until the end to see if I make it out alive.
We made it to Rapids Water Park, and I've gathered a list of some of the worst reviews people left about this place that I could find. Starting with review number 1 from Melinda, quote, "Don't go there. Staff and managers are extremely rude to customers. Place is very crowded. Very long lines and rules apply differently to different people. Last but not least, the park and water are both dirty. 1 star. The next review comes from Jennifer L. Quote, "I had a terrible time. Admission was $139 for 2 people. Online it said $49 per person. Rides made me sick to my stomach. You need a road map to find your way around. No concession stands were open. I was starving and thirsty. After 3 hours of pouring down rain, we should have gotten a discount and refunded some of our money. I had a major headache when me and my daughter left. Don't waste your time unless you got money to throw away. I will never come back here again. 1 star. Online it says the tickets are $59.99 per person, so we'll have to check if the website is accurate. And the last review before we go in here, quote, "Most disappointing water park of all time. Long lines everywhere and absolutely nowhere to sit. 1 star. Dude, I'm nervous to go in here. It says this place is overcrowded, very expensive,
and the water's supposedly really gross, so
hopefully that's not true. Let's go in here and check out if these reviews are true or false."
After paying for some overpriced tickets that cost more in person than online, it was time to go test out the water slides.
We just got inside the park and the tickets were actually only $59.99 per person, but there was a catch. You had to buy them online.
yeah, if you didn't buy them online, they were $69.99 at the window.
Upcharging if you buy them in person. So far that review is partially true. They did cost more in person. Now that we're in the water park, it's time to dig into the reviews. The next review is from Danielle, quote, "Stay far away from Rapids Water Park for your own safety and your child's well-being. I experienced something absolutely vile and beyond belief. While waiting at the top of the stairs for the green and blue 4-person ride, a woman suddenly rushed down and had diarrhea all the way down the stairs, right in front of everyone. Oh, that's disgusting. Not a single employee acted, no cleanup, no stopping the ride, no warning to guests. I had to personally try to stop others from stepping in. You'd expect them to shut down the area to disinfect, but nothing happened. I went straight to the manager and pointed out the woman who still had feces all over her swimsuit and was walking around the park." Oh my gosh, I hope this one's not true. "And he did absolutely nothing. No health protocol, no removal, no care for guest safety. I'm truly praying no one gets sick. It was one of the most disgusting and dangerous things I've ever seen in a public space. Rapids Water Park, you should be ashamed." All right, we need to actually check if there's feces anywhere. Let's go.
Oh God.
So to test the water out, we actually have a bacterial test to see if there's any feces inside of the water, and hopefully this place actually has clean water.
We came prepared to test if the water is actually dirty. We went over to the wave pool and took a sample of the water, which we will check later in this video. I really hope after spending the entire day here in the water park that the test results do not come back positive for bacteria, because by then it would be too late.
We got the water here, and now this takes a couple of hours to actually come out to see the results. So we're gonna come back later before we leave the park to see if there's actually bacteria in here or not.
My goal for the day is to test and rate all the water park attractions and amenities. Test reviews to see if they're true or false, and leave a 5-star review, but I can't lie.
This is the green and blue slide area, so let's go check the stairs out and see if there's feces. I really hope there's not and they cleaned it.
Honestly, it'd be really gross if we come up on some feces.
We started investigating the stairs, but we couldn't see any diarrhea anywhere.
Maybe the sign should be here because look at how dirty these steps are, but just because they're dirty doesn't mean there's poop on there. I don't really see any poop. There's gum on the steps, but that's not poop, so let's keep searching.
Honestly, I don't see any feces anywhere, so I'm gonna have to say that's false.
But we still have to wait for the water results to see if the water is dirty. But there's definitely no poop on the stairs.
Yeah.
The next review comes from Dennis, quote, "Total trash. Slides constantly have issues. Don't waste your time and money here." End quote, 1 star. Slides have issues? Bro, you gotta go down it first.
I'm not going down a slide if it's not working properly. Are you kidding me?
Well, if they have people going down the slide, hopefully there's no issues. The next review comes from Amanda H. Quote, "They have scales at top of stairs for adults, and if they are over, can't get on and have to walk all the way back down. Letting you know to ask weight limits before you go so you don't get embarrassed or shamed like my friend did. That's not right." End quote, 1 star. I can't believe they would have scales at the top of the slide. They did not tell us that before we came in here.
Yeah, no, that's kind of messed up.
I wonder if it's for safety reasons, and I wonder if it's even true. The next review comes from Millie, quote, "Never come here again. My family went here on May 18 at around 4:31 p.m. My brother went on a ride, and while he was inside, the water stopped mid-ride, and while he was there, he hit his head, and it busted open, which caused him to bleed really bad, and he felt really lightheaded afterwards. We told the manager, and they didn't want to do anything about it, but gave him a Band-Aid, which was still bleeding through it. They didn't offer to help him or anything. Please don't come here or bring your kid here." End quote, 1 star. Guys, I really hope the water doesn't actually cut off when you're going down a slide, because this is a water park, and that could leave burns on you if there's no water.
Honestly, I'm kind of sketched out now. I also hope that I do not hit my head like him and end up bleeding everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to go on these slides. The next review comes from Y Mesh, quote, "Many slides are not even open. If you open for business and charge full price, you need to also provide everything." End quote, 1 star. I could definitely see why someone would leave 1 star if not all the slides are open, especially for some steep admission prices.
Let's go around and check and see if any of the slides are actually shut down right now.
Let's do it, come on. No way, the ride is closed. We literally paid full price and this isn't even open. What if I wanted to go on this one?
Honestly, it's crazy that it's only the second ride that we've looked at and it's already closed.
Let's go check some other ones out before we test the slides to see if any other ones are shut. Come on. Why is water coming out of the edges of that pipe?
Honestly, I hope that's supposed to be doing that.
Hopefully that's not why the water turned off on one of these people that left that review. The slides have issues. Well, I do see rust sticking off some of the poles. I would probably call that an issue.
Yeah, no, that doesn't really look too pleasing to the eye.
That review is actually not true so far because they literally tell you the weight limit before you go up to the top. All right, now it's time to actually go test it out. And I'm nervous because hopefully the water doesn't actually cut off and hopefully there's actually no issues with the slide.
Yeah, this is honestly a little scary.
I can't believe some slides were actually shut down, but we still had to pay full price to get in here.
All right, I don't really see a big line yet. There's literally absolutely nobody here so far. So about this place having long lines, I don't really know if that's true or not.
Yeah, definitely. There's literally nobody in front of us right now.
The only way to actually test out if the slides have issues is to go on them for ourselves. So we made our way over to the first slide that we're gonna test out, and it looks scary.
We're about to go on this. And I hear people screaming, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Well, there's a long line on that side, but this one doesn't look as long. There's a couple people, so let's go. There's another warning about the weight right here. So before you get to the top where there could be a scale, which we still have to check for, it already tells you.
Multiple times too.
We did see a bunch of rust and chipped paint everywhere on the slides, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they do not work.
We're not even to the top yet, and I already see a ton of rust everywhere over the slide, just like at the bottom. Hopefully, it's safe.
We started making our way to the top of the stairs when we saw a gentleman coming back down the steps. He said they literally turned him around because of a weight limit.
3 pounds overweight, and he has to go all the way back down. No exceptions asked. At least they warn you with the signs. Hey, let's go. We're good to go on. There actually was a scale up there, but we get to go. Let's get it, baby. Woo! Hopefully the water doesn't cut off.
Let's go. Oh my God. Oh. Is there a job coming?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That was absolutely crazy.
Well, we just got off that slide and the water did not cut off in the middle of it and neither of us got hurt.
Yeah, no, it was honestly really, really fun.
Now the review about the rules applying to some, but not everyone is absolutely true. We got to the top of the slide and some lady went down right before us with her iPhone filming, but then when we went, we got yelled at for taking our camera on there. How does that apply to some people but not us? They even threatened to kick us out, and that was literally the first slide we went down.
Yeah, honestly, that was not cool.
They were pretty rude. The next review comes from Genesis, quote, "Unfortunately, I'm giving this place a bad review because both my partner and I's shoes were stolen. Security was called, but all they did was stand by the wave pool for 10 minutes to see if someone would return them and then left. No update or follow-up. We took it upon ourselves to walk the whole park and look for our shoes, but no luck. We had to walk barefoot to our car. We were offered a discount on water shoes or an alternative. It used to be a safe place for families, but not anymore." End quote, 1 star. Guys, hopefully nobody here is stealing because I see staff everywhere, so they would definitely catch if something like that was happening. But to test that, we have these pair of shoes that I'm gonna put right here, and we're gonna come back before we leave the water park just to pick our shoes back up and make sure that they're still here.
I set down one of my favorite pairs of shoes, so hopefully they're there before we leave the water park.
The next review comes from Faith M, quote, "The parking lot and pricing for starters was insane, and all of their rides are way too rough to be a kid's park. Me and my boyfriend went on the black and white water slide. It was over an hour wait in the same spot. After going on the ride, it is not safe for anyone under 130 pounds. Aren't you 129?
I think so, honestly.
I flew out of the tube even though I was holding on very tight and landed on my neck in the pitch black, getting drowned by water and not being able to see anything. And then once there was actually light at the end, after not being able to breathe and inhaling water, the tube was running my head and neck over and pushing me underwater while the worker just stood there and watched. What happens if I could have broken my neck or fell out of it at a higher point? Will not be back here again and for safety reasons. Don't recommend it either." End quote, 1 star. This is a giant white and black water slide, and it is the biggest slide in here.
It looks really scary, so honestly, I don't know if I want to go on it.
You might be under the weight limit, so you might be twice as scared as me. I'm nervous to go on this, but it's time to test if this review is true or false. Come on. Well, it doesn't look like the line's super long from here, but hopefully it doesn't take an hour and a half sitting in the same spot. And hopefully John Michael doesn't fly out. Yep, this is the slide that we're about to go down, and the water's rushing out.
At first sight, the stairs look like they were only half full with a line, so hopefully the review about taking an hour and a half is absolutely false.
We've been in line for 10 minutes. Hopefully this is not an hour and a half.
But we are moving, so.
There is progress. Well, it hasn't been an hour and a half, but it has been over 30 minutes, and we moved like 5 feet.
We waited in line for what felt like forever, and then I noticed a bunch of bees swarming around by the stairs. Hopefully I don't get stung, and hopefully we get to the top of the slide very soon, because we're coming up close on that hour and a half.
We're almost at the top, but it's been a full hour. Not an hour and a half, but we still have 10 feet to go. That could take 30 minutes. I have no idea. We're about to go down the slide.
I feel like I see you before, that's all. Like,
My name's Jack. I do flips.
all right,
Let's go, bro.
The dude at the top was extremely cool, a lot cooler than the guy at the other slide that threatened to kick us out for filming on our phone, the same exact thing the people before us did as well.
that looks great. Let's go, I stayed in, guys.
That was actually really scary, but we made it. While that line was really long and it did take over an hour, we were not in the exact same spot for over an hour and a half, so that part is not true.
Also, I did not fall out, y'all. Not necessarily true if you're under 130 pounds that you will fall out of the tube, because I did not fall out. It was scary, but I had a lot of fun.
And while the guy in the first ride did treat us differently than the other people, the guy at the top of this slide was actually extremely cool, and he actually said he subscribes to our channel, so subscribe while you're at it. Do y'all subscribe? Hey, they're subscribed. You already know. Subscribe it up.
Since we were done testing some of the big slides out, it was time to try out some of these smaller slides, just to make sure this review about the slides having issues is not true, because so far it wasn't. But nevertheless, we need to go on every slide just to make sure.
All right, we're gonna go down it. It looks like the line is not as long for this slide, fortunately.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's pretty short. I think we should be able to get on fairly quick.
Now, hopefully the slide does not have any issues, because there's a ton of kids going down this one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh my gosh. That was actually fun.
Let's get it.
Woo! Woo-hoo! Oh yeah, here we go. Woo!
That water went on my nose.
I'm gonna test the green one out, and John Michael's gonna test the blue one out. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Why is this so slow? That's kind of slow. Oh. Woo. Oh my gosh.
Jack went down the green one. I'm gonna go down the blue one, and we're gonna see if it's safe. All right, let's do it. Woo-hoo. Oh. All right, I'm gonna actually sit down for this one. It's really slow. This ride's not that fast. Maybe I need to like lay down. It's not that it's not safe, but I'm literally getting stuck, and I'm not going that fast. That was the slowest slide I think I've ever been on.
So far, the first two had no issues, so I haven't found a single slide in this entire water park that has issues.
100%. The slide that I just went on, the blue one, was extremely safe. Honestly, it was kind of too safe. I was going like a mile an hour. There was no way I could possibly get hurt.
It was actually kind of boring.
Yeah.
Bro,
Wait, we got stuck!
you got stuck.
Well, I definitely think that is for little ones.
So after testing those two slides out, they didn't have any issues. Maybe they were talking about another slide?
Honestly, maybe they were talking about the green and blue slide or even the striped slide, because honestly, the slides we went on were super, super safe, a lot of fun. So let's go try these other ones out.
I'm nervous because hopefully that review is false, but we do gotta try more out just to make sure. Come on.
We made our way up the racing slide, and John Michael wanted to see who could make it to the bottom the fastest. Like the video if you think John Michael is gonna beat me, or subscribe if you think I'm gonna win.
3, 2, 1, go. Come on. John Michael! Bro, I beat you! Bro, I beat me.
You beat me.
Okay, that was absolutely insane, but I went a little bit earlier than you, so I don't know if it was fair.
He went a little earlier than me, but he still had a very big lead on me, so I think he would have still beat me. I'm not a sore loser, so I will take the L. He definitely took the W for that one.
I could say that there was absolutely no issues with that slide, so I guess all the slides inside this park are safe. We're not done yet. The next review comes from Rick L. Quote, if you like slime and grime at the bottom of the pool, this park is for you. If you like dirty, unclean facility, this park is for you. If you like insects crawling and flying all over the place, this park is for you. Well, we did see insects flying around on the white and black slide. There was an entire bee's nest, but this is Florida, so there are bugs everywhere.
Yeah, but there should not be slime or any grime in the bottom of a pool.
Let's go check the wave pool and see if there's anything nasty on the bottom of the pool.
John Michael and I both put on our goggles and made our way over to the wave pool. It was extremely crowded in there, so if there was going to be any slime or grime, this would definitely be the pool in the park they were talking about. I went underwater and started searching around, and I saw a bunch of stuff at the bottom of the pool, but most of it was actually sand, which makes complete sense because we're in Florida and we're only a couple miles away from the beach. John Michael found a leaf in the pool, but that's pretty normal because there's trees everywhere. But we needed to search the entire wave pool just to make sure we did not miss the spot that Rick was talking about.
Well, we just searched the entire bottom of that pool and I saw a bunch of sand in there.
Which I feel like is pretty normal because you got to think everybody's walking around barefoot and they're going to get sand on the bottom of their feet. Also with a couple leaves, I mean, there's trees all around here in Florida. So overall, the pool was not that dirty and there was not slime and grime on the bottom.
It was nowhere to be found, which means that review is absolutely false. But we still haven't checked out the cleanliness of the entire park. We only checked the pool. And don't forget, we have the testing kit testing the water as we speak. But that review also said the entire park was dirty. So I think we should go check the bathrooms.
Definitely the bathrooms. Nobody wants to use a dirty bathroom.
All right, we're trying to find the bathroom. I can't see one.
What do you mean? We were just in it.
You mean the pool?
Yeah.
Ew.
I'm just kidding.
After searching the edges, the bottom, the shallow end, and the deep end, we couldn't find any slime or grime.
The next review comes from Nicole R. Quote, came here multiple times over the years and had a great time. Today, we visited and it looks like a part of the park was closed. Lazy River is partially closed and you have to get out and walk around if you want a renter. You have these chewed up pool noodles, not even actual floats they had before. People grab 6 or 7 per person and others are left trying to chase them down. There were also 2 slides that were closed. Please advise us on the website so people can know what to expect. You still charge a full admission for something that's not what it used to be. End quote, 1 star. Guys, it says the Lazy River is shut. That's literally like the funnest attraction for most people at a water park. And so far, part of that review is actually true because some of the slides here were actually closed. So let's go look for the Lazy River and see if it's actually shut.
As she said, only partially it was shut. So I think she was talking about a little section of it because she was saying that they were in the Lazy River, but they had to chase down the tubes. So let's go and test and see if the whole Lazy River is open.
I'm trying to get my money's worth.
But the Lazy River reviews are not done there. There's more. The next one is from Nicole. Quote, I used to come here all the time. As a kid, we have some of the best memories here. Came a few years ago when my kids were little and it was still pretty great. Just went today and paid over $150 for me and my 15-year-old to go. The Lazy River, which is my favorite part, was under construction. So you have to get out, not even halfway through. And there's absolutely no floats anymore. They have damaged the decrepit pool noodles, but good luck getting one. End quote, 1 star. Multiple people said that the Lazy River is partially shut. So we should go down the entire thing and see if any of it is closed. But worst of all, they also said there was no floats to use.
How do you go down a lazy river with no floats? If there's no floats, honestly, I might give it 1 star too.
The Lazy River is fully open. I see tons of people going down it.
I see a bunch of people and I see a lot of floats. So let's go get in and see if we can get our own.
It does say that it stops halfway, so we need to go around the entire thing, and it says online on their website that this is a 1/4 mile long. So if it's not actually a 1/4 mile long, that means that's not true. Also, it just says that there's a bunch of ripped up pool noodles, which is actually not true because I see a bunch of floats everywhere. So let's go see if it's actually a 1/4 mile long.
Hopefully half of it is not under construction, because if it is, I'm gonna be upset.
Let's go check this thing out. Oh, this place is overcrowded. That is definitely true. All right, let's get a float.
Well, there's only some kid floats. I feel like we gotta wait off to the side here.
We need to wait for a float to come. I'm taking this little one. Oh, how are you getting this? How do you get
I'll
this
hold
thing?
it, I'll hold it, go. Well, that didn't work too well. I think we need a normal size float for you.
1 star float. Hold on. Hi.
You got me soaking wet. Get out of here.
This one? All right, I just completely lost John Michael, but I have started the Lazy River trek, and we're gonna see if this thing is partially shut. So if I don't make it all the way back to where I just started, that means that this thing is not fully operational. And this place is actually extremely crowded. Like literally, there are so many people inside of this place.
Yo,
Oh, dude! I was wondering where you were.
I got my float. I got my float.
As soon as we got on the Lazy River, a ton of people swarmed us.
John Michael! John Michael's way ahead of me. John Michael, we gotta connect.
Yeah. All right, now we're locked in. We're not really moving though.
Yeah, I think we got out of the current.
We made it about halfway down the Lazy River when we started to get the feeling that these reviews were not true. Maybe the Lazy River was shut at one point, but right now it seems to be open. But to see if it's true or false, we have to go down the rest of the Lazy River. And that could be quite a challenge because there were tens, hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people in the lazy river at one time. There was absolutely no personal space.
What is going on, y'all? What is someone doing a lazy river? So far, I would say we've made it through more than half of the lazy river, but I do not know if it's actually fully open.
This review could be true, but I don't know yet. So,
Jack, we're about to get wet, bro. Oh, I got you,
It was definitely complete chaos. I would not go back in the lazy river if you like your personal space.
the slides were a lot of fun, but apparently the food's not. The next review comes from Graham and quote, "The variety of food and prices are terrible. There is no variety at all. In addition, it is poorly cooked." End quote, 1 star.
I'm really hungry, but I don't know if I want to eat some undercooked food. I might get food poisoning.
That would be bad. But wait, there's more. The next quote about food comes from Deborah, quote, "2 hot dogs that look like they were from last year and 1 small fry was $29. End quote, 1 star. $29 for a small fry?
And a hot dog that looks a year old, I'm good.
Hopefully that review is not true. But there's another one. The next quote is from Elaria, and sorry if I said your name wrong, I didn't go to college. Quote, "Watered down drinks. I had to go see how the bartender did the drink. It's different from ordering from a cabana to ordering in person." End quote, 1 star. Guys, the food reviews are really bad, but I'm hungry and thirsty, so
We gotta test this out because I'm also hungry and very thirsty. It is so hot, so we gotta go try this out.
we just got to the food stand. It's time to test out some hot dogs and drinks. On top of that, it's $9.99 per hot dog, which is extremely steep for 1 hot dog.
No, definitely. You can make a hot dog at home for like $1.
Well, you could, but you can't bring food in here, so you gotta buy it here. That's another way they get you. No snacks allowed. You're really gonna run up a ticket here. How much is the 2 hot dogs and a small fry? You said the fries come with it?
Yeah, it's $21.38.
That's cheaper than it said. Okay, can I get 1 hot dog, 3 bottles of water, a Coke Zero, a Diet Coke, a Sprite, and chicken tenders to see if they're undercooked?
$56.65.
$56.65. All right, almost the price of 1 person to get in. $56.65. Pretty steep for some drinks, hot dog, and chicken fingers. Could have got it for half the price at Chick-fil-A, but you can't take any food in here. First things first, we're gonna see if the drinks are watered down. He got Sprite, I got a soda, so let's see. It's not really watered down for me.
Mine tastes fine.
So far, the food review and drink review is not true, but we still have to see if the chicken is undercooked and if the hot dog looks like it's from last year. And it did come out in about 30 seconds, so that was pretty quick. They really put the fast in fast food. Guys, I'm so nervous. Let's see if this was from last year.
That does not look like from last year.
That looks like a normal fresh hot dog to me.
Well, taste test.
It tastes like a normal hot dog, and it does taste cooked all the way. And it doesn't look like it's from last year, so that review is false.
Now for the chicken tenders.
Oh my gosh, I really hope these are cooked all the way, because chicken is one thing you cannot undercook.
They look pretty tasty, and I got some ketchup because, you know, you gotta have a condiment with your chicken.
The only thing that was true so far is the food is overpriced, but it actually wasn't as expensive as one of the reviews said. Maybe they lowered their prices.
I mean, it looks pretty cooked to me.
Oh yeah,
Here you go.
I mean, the inside has like the normal chicken string. That's cooked all the way to me. I'm really hot. All of these food reviews are absolutely false. The food's pretty good, so I'm gonna have to give it 4 stars for Waterpark. It's been about 3 hours since we set the shoes down. Now let's go check if they're there, because we didn't pay for a cubby because it was expensive. So we left them out to see if that review was true or false about people stealing shoes. Let's go look.
We went over to see if we could find the shoes, and it was there.
No way! We literally left the shoes out here for multiple hours, and they literally weren't even turned, twisted, or touched.
Yeah.
That means that review is false. People do not steal your stuff here. And now before we leave the water park, we have to see if the water is actually clean or dirty. And because it's been several hours since we took the sample, we're gonna look at the vial and see the results. If it's purple, the water is clean. And if it's yellow, the water is dirty. What do you think?
Honestly, with how many people there are, it's gonna be yellow.
I was extremely nervous to see the water results because we had been swimming in the water all day and going down a ton of water slides. But it was time to see if this review is true or false.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
It's purple.
that's crazy.
They must use a lot of chlorine because this is not contaminated somehow, but that review is actually false. The water is really clean. The people that left bad reviews must have had their eyes closed because most of them weren't true.
100%. I feel like a lot of them were false.
Well, like I said, before we leave this park, we have to leave a 5-star review. Even though this water park had some awful reviews, overall, I had a really fun time. The slides were crazy, and the food wasn't as bad as people said. Would definitely come back. Subscribe if you'd love to come here.